Hello, welcome to another video today. I did realize I've been skipping out on a handful of paper guns I've made and just haven't showed them. Or I've showed them, but I've never made a video on them. Like my Uzi, I believe I haven't made a video on. I've done my micro Uzi, I haven't done my regular Uzi or my Uzi Pro or my CZ remake, my micro CZ. And then I do have planned right now to make possibly an AR-15 style weapon, and of course I have it confirmed, the H&K MP5. I think I might do a SWAT configuration instead of a regular configuration. I might do a SWAT one, who knows. But I want to have it where it's more, this in my opinion is a better positioning, but my phone might slip. But yeah, talking about that, let's get to the paper gun this video is about, the KP-9 or PP-19-01 Vityaz, made by Kalashnikov concern, I believe in 2004, and I think publicized in 2008 or adopted in 2008. A variant of the PP-19 Bison, this was made as an improvement on the PP-19 Bison due to the PP-19 Bison being it's a direct blowback weapon, just like this one, I believe, because unlike an AK, this is a direct blowback. Well, this was made to improve, so it was made with in 9x19mm or 9mm parabellum, which the old Bison was made in 9x18, which is 9mm Makarov, I believe it's called. But yeah, the main thing is it was somewhat of a big collaboration, because the son of Mikhail Kalashnikov, aka the inventor of the AK-47, did pitch in on this, and even the son of the inventor of the Dragunov. Something that you want to expect is that the PKM or PKP, both similar weapons, are invented by Mikhail Kalashnikov and made by the Kalashnikov group. So here it is, KP-9 Vityaz. This is a semi-modern version, I'd say, due to it having tack rails on the top, bottom, and a small tack rail on the side for lasers. So there's some differences between, so people are saying, hey, the KP-9 is kind of like a Krinkov. Some people say it's kind of like a Krinkov, which it kind of is because of its style. But let's show you a older weapon of mine, a Krinkov. Oh my god. Let me just, I'll do it. There we go, come on. Then grab the magazines. So here's the Krinkov. Made by Kalashnikov, and was shortened version of the AK-74 with a side folder. So people say it gives a vibe, which originally the Vityaz was in an AK-74U. That's why it's kind of similar. But there is some things, like this one is made in 1979, while this one is made in 2008, so there is some differences. But I did improve on some things, so I can kind of use this as a comparable weapon if people say it's similar. Number one is for sure the iron sight. It's supposed to be a gap in between, which I was able to add on the Vityaz. One thing is there's no tack rails on these handguards, so the rear sight, they're both equally, this I'd gotta say, one of my cleanest AK style sights. And I did have it where I added the little notch where it would have been, I believe, here on the AK-74U, on to the also the Vityaz would have this detail, which was missing on my AKS-74U, so I decided to add it on my Vityaz. And I did clean up the rear bit of the stock a little bit, and the notch where it would fold in or latch onto. The one thing that the Vityaz does have that the Krinkov doesn't is a sling mount on the gun. You can't really see it if I put it side view, but you can see it's a smaller one on the front. I did clean up the front, so it's, you don't see the ugly tubing. The thing is for sure is, so originally my quote-unquote old, my previous AK style design, the handle looked like this, where it used cardstock and heavyweight and twists. So I do have plans to replace the charging handle altogether, which I probably will be doing. So, but here is my new charging handle design using regular A4 printer paper, much more sturdier and moves a lot more smoothly inside the chamber. I can't grip this properly where I can't have it move forward smoothly, and it would be a little rough. But yeah, it still has similar detail. This has a little bit more detail, and I did cover exposed edges, unlike my older Krinkov. And the magwell I did clean up, looks cleaner. And the trigger guard, I made it where it's more thicker, so it doesn't bend much. But let's stop focusing on, I love the Krinkov though, you gotta be honest. I do love the Krinkov. Still an amazing weapon. No hate for it. Krinkov is what got me into AKs. Or got me more into AKs. I love the AK itself. But when I saw the Krinkov, I loved it even more. I love the AK platform even more. Where it's seated properly on this, so nothing happens to it. I do gotta clean my room a bit. And I mean a bit, I mean a lot of it. But yeah, let's go over to the Vityaz itself. One of my most sturdiest and most modifiable AK style weapons, with a, of course, magazine, no bullets because it's paper. I don't plan to make it fire. I made a few that would actually fire. Not like it. I use this so rarely, and if I lose any bullets, I'm too lazy to make more. I want to make another gun instead. So I just made it where it doesn't shoot bullets anymore. And it's really opened up a lot of more detail to be added, and less paper to be wasted, and more sturdiness, because it'd use, like the ones I would shoot, it'd use more paper, but it'd still be a lot less sturdy than this. So I did make a Vityaz from last year with, it looks like very shittily done Zenico parts. This one is a traditional Vityaz, no Zenico parts at all. So let's put on. So I did make it where you can put on foregrips and sights. So I do have 3 main sights here, a blue reticle one, a one with a black reticle, so you can't really see it too well, and a holographic style sight. I personally like this one here the most, in my opinion. And I can finagle this in This one, I like this one because it has a very nice tight fit on the gun. So, yes. And of course, there's an opening. You can put a suppressor in there. And of course, a little bit of detail down here and on the sides here. It's small details that others won't notice, but I want to have, because then I feel like I'm bad at it. Like I'm bad at it. And of course, you have our foregrip. This is a basic angled foregrip. Slips right on to the weapon, just like that. And now I have my built out Vityaz in my personal favor. So if I did have my older Vityaz, I would compare it, but I threw it out because I hated it. I seriously hated my older Vityaz that much that I threw it out completely. But now, we have this amazing Vityaz, which I will never replace and will keep on my wall forever. And yeah. One thing is, I will be planning to actually make a replacement for what the first video I uploaded on my channel, the gun I made, the M16A4 with the M16A3 lower. Let's grab it. Here it is. This gun is 8-year-old, and you can tell by tape coming off and parts cracking here, because I used the wrong type of tape and it was much more fragile. It would give you reinforcement, but over time it would degrade and just make parts snap off. But yeah, this is an older M16 I made. The M16A4 upper with the M16A3 lower. Has all the basic detail that any M16 would have. But still, magwell is too. There's many imperfections on it, but detail is pretty nice. So I do plan to actually make a better version of this, and hopefully have that be my replacement of my main gun wall weapon. We're hoping it's going to be replacing this one, but who knows, it might not. Maybe. Might not, maybe. I hope so. Yeah, the feature, my Vityaz, it's been going on for a while. But yeah, my Vityaz, I don't have too much to say about it, except, you know, it looks nice. One thing I can tell you is for all paper AKs, they all have the same base, where it's 7 main tubes shaped for the receiver, and 6, actually I believe 8 tubes, 8 to 12 tubes for the furniture that you add on to it about halfway through after completing the receiver. But yeah, here it is. KP-9 Vityaz. Originally, and my older one, when I just came out, the sights were a little bit too short, wasn't zeroed in. This didn't have mountable sights. It didn't have the tack rails here for any other attachments, and the magwell wasn't the best. So, originally I was gonna post a video when I made it the same day. I'm like, wait, I'm missing all these details. I said, I'm gonna give it about 2 or 3 days and add all those details and wrap it up, so I can finally make a video where I feel I actually enjoyed making this gun, and I feel proud of the final product, which with changing all this stuff and adding all this stuff to my KP-9. Even with my older charging handle, it was a less accurate version, which was I can find it. Was a classic, here it is, a classic AK charging handle instead of a KP-9 Vityaz charging handle, and they both move equally smoothly. This one is stronger. and it is the correct charging handle, because instead of it going upwards, the notch going upwards, the notch would go downwards on the Vityaz, like this one here. So after making it correctly, yeah, I'm done with the Vityaz. And I have all these attachments for it. And I'm gonna have it where, with decently sturdy older guns with tack rails, I'm gonna have it where I'm gonna start modifying them where I can share attachments with it. Like my M16, I'm not gonna make any attachments for it. I'm gonna make it where maybe definitely a suppressor, but nonetheless, I'm not gonna have it where you can put on a sight, because it's gonna be an AR style weapon, and I want it where if it's the M16, I really love M16 iron sights, but sometimes they fuck it up in games. But most of the time they do it pretty well. People say they don't like M16 iron sights. I do. I like M16 iron sights. So I'm gonna keep it that way and not add anything to it. So, but if anyone asks why I'm wearing workout gloves, I thought I had rubber gloves so I wouldn't get any oils, mainly from my palms. So I'm like, wait, I found out I don't have any rubber gloves because they got all old, so I had to toss them out. So I'm like, wait, I have these workout gloves. It covers the part that I want to be covered, so I put them on. And it's working all right. And it feels all finicky because the palm is like very reinforced. Like, very reinforced. And if I slam my fist on the floor, I feel nothing. And I usually feel pain. So that's how you know these are good gloves as well. But yeah, thank you for tuning in. My next video will probably be going over, somewhat rushed, of my older firearms that I've made. I'll see you in the next video. Have a nice day. See you in the next one.